Yo guys, what's good? It's RDS, Rodney, wherever you want to call me, and I am back for another video. In this one, I'm going to be giving you guys apprenticeship advice. I stated in my return video, I actually got 2 offers from the big 4 firms. Now, what are the big 4 firms, you may ask? These are the 4 biggest firms in terms of revenue in financial services sector. So the big 4 firms are KPMG, EY, PwC and Deloitte. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but those are the big 4 firms. I've actually received 2 offers from 2 of these 4, so I feel like I am, shall I say, qualified to give some sort of advice, or at least just provide some insight on how I did it, because I know that when I was, applying and doing all of this, I wanted to get advice, and when I searched on YouTube, I feel like I couldn't find anything that related to me as an individual. So I'm going to split this up. I'm going to put timestamps throughout this whole video. If you look in the description, or if you look literally at the red play bar as you move across, this video is going to be split up into different sections. So the first section, I'm going to talk about myself and what I did in terms of like my qualifications, etc. So you can compare yourself to me if that's the type of thing you want to do. If not, and if you don't really care about me, you just want to care about what I did, you can skip to the first piece of advice that I give, which will obviously be timestamps. I think the first one is remaining organized, so you'll be able to skip to that one if need be. I'm gonna try to keep it organized, so you can take what you need from the video, because one thing I absolutely hate about tutorial videos or people giving advice is when they just put a whole load of jargon inside. They don't split it up, they don't divide it. People are in a rush, people need what they need so they can go. I get it, okay? I've been there, so I'm gonna help you guys out. Alright, perfect. So for the first section, let's give a little bit of insight into me. At this point in time, this is year 13. At my school, I was elected as head boy, so that is something that you can factor in as well. My predicted grades as of that point in time was an A star, AA. And what I did was psychology, maths and economics. So those were the grades that I was working with predicting. Those are the grades that I put down in all my apprenticeship applications. Now, in terms of the times I started applying, it was quite late. Now, I think it was about February, March times where I started properly applying for different apprenticeships. So I didn't start from September. Now, in terms of work experience, I did have real work experience in terms of I used to work in a fast food restaurant. So that was my experience. I didn't have any experience in the financial services. I want to make that so clear. I had no experience. I didn't go to no events, because this pivot moment, because I was going to go to university, and I had a very pivotal moment. I spoke to one guy in the gym, and he was kind of giving me advice and him talking about his life, and I realized that university just isn't for me, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was kind of going for and doing it for the sake of doing it. But I highly advise that you go to university if you know the path you want to do. If you're just going for the sake of going, I would generally reconsider, just for the sake of you're going to get a debt that's going to be with you for the rest of your life, so you have to make it worthwhile. Not to say that the debt is bad, not to say that uni is bad. I'm not clowning on uni at all, because I generally feel like uni can open a lot of doors, just the same amount as apprenticeships. If you're unsure, if you feel like you're going to university for the vibes forever, just reconsider, because now we're starting to enter adult real life. Money starts getting involved, then bills are going to start hitting you in the back of your head. I promise you, it's not going to be fun. Them vibes are not gonna pay your bills, so make sure you think wisely. So that's just a little bit of insight into me. Those were my predicted grades, the time I roughly started applying, my background experience. So the only thing I had going for me was that I was head boy, and I founded some mental health ambassadors thing in my school. Those are the only 2 things that were kind of going for me, even though I did also do presentations and stuff, which I did briefly mention in my application, but I didn't talk about it too much. But I was a very outgoing person. As I was head boy, I was presenting, I was dealing with meetings between students and teachers, etc. So these are all stuff that I put down. Alright, perfect. Let's get into the first piece of advice that I'm going to give as an offer holder from the big 4 firms. The first is to remain organized. I cannot stress this enough. There is a reason why this is the first tip I can give you, because especially in year 13, where you're dealing with UCAS, you're dealing with mocks, you're dealing with all sorts in your life. It feels like such a squeeze, okay? You're not going to be able to apply for apprenticeships on the side, track them in each way just off the top of your head, because you're going to forget. Now, especially when you apply for like lots of apprenticeships, each of them pass through various stages. There's the beginning stage, there's like the video assessment stage, then there's the in-person stage, the assessment center, and then obviously past that you get the final interview depending on the firm, and then you get the offer, right? So when you apply, you're obviously going to be at different stages for different applications, so you need to remain organized. I cannot stress this enough. So my best advice is to use Excel sheets or anything of the sort. I use like Google's like version of Excel sheets. I forgot what it's called. I don't know if it's called Sheets or whatever, but I use that instead. I literally take a screenshot and literally put it on the screen right now. This is literally how I did it. I color coded it as well. So if it was green, then that means that like I've passed it, or like I'm on to the next stage. If it's red, that means it requires attention, so it might, I might need to finish it before then. It might give me some sort of deadline, so I make sure I keep everything compact and organized. If you don't do that, I promise you are not going to get far, unless you apply to one apprenticeship and you're gonna get in, which is highly unlikely. You're gonna need to do stuff like this. I highly recommend you use Excel or Sheets or whatever, because obviously that gives you an insight on how it's going to be in the real world. You're gonna need to use Excel sheets, especially for doing finance or anything of the sort, project management. Well, I can't even speak. Project management or anything of the sort. You're going to need to know how to use Excel. So this is the perfect way for you to, gain them soft skills that you're gonna require later. Second piece of key advice I can give as a offer holder from the Big Four firms is to do your own research. This is vital, okay? A company is going to hire you for the sake of, do you fit their morals? Do you fit their values? This is a key thing, and people forget this. Like, they think that, you need to have a squeaky clean CV, lots of qualifications, and boom, you're in. No, you need to align with the company's values, because if you don't align with the company's values, the company aren't gonna want you. So now you can do this yourself. You can obviously just search up, let's say for example you want to search up KPMG's core values, search it on Google and it will literally come up straight away. Most firms, it just comes up straight away. However, I can see that on TikTok some people make like fact sheets, and I use some of these as well. They're really, really helpful. They give you key dates, like the dates that the firm was founded, any sort of like key events, especially for someone of color. Maybe like they might do like events for Black or Asian people, people of color, minorities. So stuff like this you need to pick up on and speak about and put in your application to show that, look, I'm interested in your firm, just beyond the work, just beyond the pay, but even just as a culture, I want to be here. By you showing that, it just makes you more likely to get through to the next stage. Now, you can also use this when you're doing the video interviews and the group assessment stages. Now, for the group assessment stage, I'm going to leave that for a completely separate video, because I understand the group assessment stage is probably the biggest part of the whole application process. So I'm going to leave that for a separate video. I don't want to squeeze everything into one. But one thing I will say is that you can use the core beliefs into when you're answering questions in both the video answers and the group assessments. Let's say for example the key belief is let's say like inclusivity. That's probably one that every firm is gonna talk about, togetherness, etc. So now when they ask you a question, by you incorporating and being like, oh, I show like collaboration or teamwork through this, through that, I enjoy working in a team, etc. By you showing that, you're literally showing the firm that, look, I align so strongly with your values. You should hire me for this reason, not just because I have the qualifications, not just because I want the money, but because I want to go further than that. Now I understand, to some people they're thinking, yo, like this is too much, that I don't really care that much. But you have to realize that these firms are trusting you to handle a job for them, so they want to make sure that you're the person that fits the bill. So you need to show them that. You can't just show them qualifications and expect them to open a door for you. You need to have something different. Now the third key piece of information that I can give as a offer holder from the Big Four firms is to not worry about extracurricular activities. Now whoa, hold on, wait a minute. First of all, let's explain what extracurricular activities are. Now, curriculum is obviously what you learn in school. So that's your, your syllabus, whatever it is you're doing, if it's psychology, etc., blah, blah, blah. That's what you learn in school. Extracurricular is what you do outside of that. I stated in the beginning of this video, like, I didn't get time because of, like, I was so late to do it. I didn't really get time to, like indulge in any, like, extracurricular activities. Because I was so late to the game. So all the events, all the like information, like sometimes firms may hold like particular events for people that are interested in getting in their firms. You get like certificates, etc. I didn't get that because I was so late to the game, and there was so many people, even my friends included, that went to these events, like Bloomberg hold events, KPMG, EY, they all hold events to see the type of people that are interested in what they do. You go to these events, obviously it's showing you and showing the recruiters that, look, I'm super interested in this firm, because even outside of my school times, I'm spending my time learning more about this firm, spending my time doing this. I didn't get any of that. So while I say this now, take this with a pinch of salt. I am not saying that they are not important, because they are. But what I'm saying is that if you didn't, or you're late to the game, do not panic, because you can still get an apprenticeship without this. I missed so many of the events because I started late, okay? So I had to find a way around it. Now this is where I'm going to put you guys on the highest level of game possible. Listen, you heard it here first. Now, the website that I use to catch up and get some extra certificates and show that I was interested is a website called Forage, however you want to call it. This website is goated. Essentially what it does is that it has online simulations of so many different like jobs. It's not only just finance. You can do it in multiple things, and I do want to make that clear. For this video, this is for apprenticeships in general. It's not just for finance. If you want to go into like project management, etc., any sort of other apprenticeship, this is also for you. The other thing about it is that once you finish it, you get a certificate. And it's so good because it gives you like a genuine insight on how the things are. It has like different videos, different like things from all the different companies, and they're handmade from these companies. So the companies will record like scenarios for you to follow and record and do all these tasks. And it's so good because it gives you that real insight. Leaving link in the description. This is not sponsored, okay? This is not sponsored. I'm leaving a link in the description to Forage. Sign up and get some done, okay? Get some done. Keep the certificates with you as well. You can print them off if you want, but obviously it lets you download it. It even allows you to like put it on LinkedIn as well, which is so good. It's one of the best websites I've ever seen for apprenticeships, I'll be so honest. Now, the fourth key piece of advice I can give as a offer holder from the big four firms is be able to accept rejection. You need to be able to handle it. Listen, you are going to get rejected so many times. And listen, this is in real life, okay? So I'm going to put you on game. Rejection is redirection. Okay, if you get rejected in one thing, that is God, or even if you're not God, even if you don't believe in God, you're atheist, etc., that is you being redirected in another direction by fate, if you want to call it fate. Okay, but obviously I'm Christian, so I say that God redirects me that way. But you need to be able to handle rejection, because you're gonna get rejected left, right, and center, especially if you apply to multiple. I can even show you myself. Look at my Excel sheets. Look how many times I got rejected. I just had to stand there and take it, because I knew at the end of the day that something is going to come up for me. And it was hard, I'll be honest. There were times I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to get one. And I feel like everyone that's applied to apprenticeships has felt this way, because constantly getting rejected, it takes a toll on your mental. It really does, because you're thinking, am I not good enough? Like, what's happening? But I promise you, just keep going. I promise you, you will get there. And the fifth and final advice I can give as an offer holder from the big four firms is to just be yourself. So many people that try to change their appearance, change who they are to try and fit this narrative for their apprenticeships. Be yourself, okay? That is the best thing that you can do when you're applying. That's the best thing you can do when you're in interviews, video interviews, etc. Be yourself. As I said before, the firm wants to see, are you a good fit for the firm? But you need to see, is this firm a good fit for me? It's like being friends with someone. If you constantly have to change the way you act, the way you behave and you're not yourself, those aren't your true friends. Now the same thing applies with workplace. The same thing applies with applying to jobs. If you can't generally be yourself in a workplace, I would not recommend you to be there. I wouldn't recommend you for you to apply there, because if they don't like you for who you are, you're constantly gonna have to change yourself, constantly have to keep up this act, and that gets tiring over time. It's just gonna make you not enjoy your work, and it just makes life a lot more draining. So that's the best advice I can give to you guys, and take it with a pinch of salt as well. And there you have it, guys. Those are my 5 key pieces of advice I can give to you as someone that's received 2 offers from the big 4 firms. Now remember, this doesn't just apply to finance. This is for all types of apprenticeships, because they all follow the same structure. Okay, there's always going to be you sending off your application. There's going to be a video assessment stage, or in person, it depends. There's always going to be a group stage. There's always going to be the same thing, all right, and a final interview. So you can take this and maybe remove the whole finance aspect of it and just take the raw facts, but you need to copy this. There's a copy and paste type of element to it, so you can take it and apply it to what you want to do. If it's project management, go and do that. If it's property, go and do that. There's so many apprenticeships, and I would recommend, especially to you year 12s or incoming year 13s, definitely take a look into apprenticeships. All right, don't feel like because the schools are forcing UCAS onto you, you're always hearing about UCAS universities, or the people around you are going to university, that you have to go to university too. This is your life, okay? Beyond this point, once things happen to you, the people that you're following around aren't going to be there to help you 24/7. You're going to have to be independent and make independent decisions. So now is that time. Like I died, like I'm just barking orders, but I'm doing it for the sake of you guys, man. I care about you guys, and I know a lot of you guys are getting to that stage where you need to start thinking about your future. So this is a very key video for me. It's important for me because I felt like I didn't get that guidance. I wasn't too sure about where I wanted to go. I was very lucky to stumble across that person that I did at the gym to kind of give me the advice. But if I didn't, I'd be in a very different position. So I want to be that person for you guys, give you guys some advice, give you guys some sort of, clear guideway. So, everything I say, take it with a pinch of salt, but do look into apprenticeships, because there are so many benefits that you can attain from them. If you want to do stuff like dentistry, etc., go straight for it. You can't do no apprenticeships, but there's certain places where you can actually get an apprenticeship. Like, for example, I had to open up law apprenticeships. That's crazy. If you that's what I mean. So definitely look into it. That is all for me. So if you did enjoy it, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 1K. Okay, 1K subscribers. I don't know how long we've been trying to hit 1K. We were so close last time and I stopped uploading, so I lost hella subscribers. But let's get to 1K before we fly off to where we're going. I've received so much love since coming back. So many people commenting, so many people messaging me saying it's happy to see me back, etc. So yes, guys, I'm back. I'm here to stay. The content might have switched up a little bit, but I'm still here to stay. I'm still gonna do the usual RDS, the usual thing, but I'm just mixing a bit more serious stuff, because I've got a lot of things that I can share with you guys, so why not? Anyways, guys, that's all for me, man. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side. But out. Hop in the ride with 4-5 guys. Left with that shit on full call. Tell them to bin that dry. Didn't want beef with us, why? Cause it comes with fries. Told them keep up the internet talking, then let's see if you can survive. Look.